Alright, Creator Clash number 2 has just wrapped up. I just finished watching it. And I will say that the event was pretty interesting.
It's done it from time to time. Just a little bit. From the United Kingdom, the Nightmare.
So I really just watched this event for iDubbbz versus Wassabi for the main event. I was not too familiar with a lot of the names on this card, with a lot of them being first-time fighters or fighting for the first time since the first Creator Clash. So I wasn't really aware of a lot of the people, but I did watch most of the fights. And this whole card and event kind of reminded me of like the back in the day YouTube boxing days. I know the whole YouTube boxing scene isn't like the best boxing ever, but still in comparison, we saw some very limited boxing skills in some of these fights, which I still thought was entertaining because they were still going for it completely. But there are a couple fights I wanted to mention before the main event. And the first one was Myth. He actually showed some pretty good skills and finished his opponent by TKO. He was one of the guys I was impressed with. He went in there, got it done. He was with the guy who wasn't as skilled as him, and he is someone I would like to see in other fights in the scene. I'd maybe like to see him on a Misfits card or a Kingpin event. I want to see him have more fights. He has potential in my opinion. So that was a fighter I was impressed with, but one fight that I was impressed with was the Andrea Botez versus Michelle Khare fight. That fight was the most technical and skilled female influencer boxing fight I have seen hands down. And we've really only seen kind of the female fights mostly on Misfits at this point, with the two big names being Astrid Wett and Elle Brooke. But these two put on a show. This was very technical and I was very impressed with both of them. Michelle Khare ended up winning the fight. She definitely deserved the win, but both of them had really great performances, and I think Andrea Botez would beat most of the female influencer boxers in the entire scene. I would like to see both of them continue on in the sport, and I hope they end up going on some other events sometime this year and not just Creator Clash. That's my hope. Really impressed by both of them. Alright, so the main event, Alex Wassabi versus iDubbbz, was a very good fight. I thought it was very entertaining. I made a prediction video talking about this fight, and I did say Alex Wassabi by decision, so got that one, let's go. But in that video, I did say both of these guys were not top level boxers in the YouTube space. And after this performance, I might have to retract what I said. I might have been wrong about Alex Wassabi. I was very impressed with his performance. He would give a lot of guys in this space trouble, and he has shown that he has really picked up on this sport and has dedicated a lot of time to it. That check left hook all night was landing for him, and you can definitely even see he's improved since the Deji fight. So respect to him. iDubbbz, he's just kind of a tank. He eats a lot of shots. He's not the most skilled boxer, but huge respect to him. It wasn't the most competitive fight. I had it 3-1 to Alex Wassabi, and I think most people do. It could even be 4-0. So this was Alex's fight, completely dominated, and I'm excited to see who he fights next. I want to see him step up the competition and get another big fight going, because he can shock a lot of people. I know he's kind of hated in this scene by a lot of people. A lot of people make fun of him, but don't sleep on him in this boxing scene, man. He will prove a lot of people wrong, and he was better than I thought he would be. iDubbbz was about the level I expected him to be. He kind of looked pretty similar to his first fight with Dr. Mike, in my opinion. He did show a lot of toughness, but the skill is not there yet. I don't think the sport is coming to him super naturally. I think he's having a tough time, but I know he doesn't really want to fight in this scene for much longer. And one thing I wanted to say was I kind of felt bad for iDubbbz at the end. Alex Wassabi just gets the crowd to start cheering one more fight because he heard iDubbbz wants to quit. And so the whole crowd is cheering for iDubbbz to do one more fight. And iDubbbz is just in the corner. He's kind of crying. He's like emotional in this whole scene. Alex brings the mic over to him and asks him to his face right then, do you have one more fight in you? And he's just like, yeah, I guess, if you insist. I felt bad for him. I don't think iDubbbz wants to fight anymore, and he doesn't have to. There's nothing to prove. He's shown his toughness. I say if he wants to hang it up, I say hang it up. You could still run Creator Clash. He doesn't have to be the main event in order to have another Creator Clash event. I say if he's not passionate about it anymore, if he doesn't love it, I say he just ends it there. I don't want him to feel pressured into forcing himself to take another fight, even though that's what Alex Wassabi wants. Alex Wassabi said he has another year in this sport. I'm excited to see who he fights, what fights are up next for him. Those are my kind of immediate thoughts after watching the event. Who do you want to see Alex Wassabi fight next? Do you think iDubbbz should retire? Subscribe for more boxing updates and content. If you feel like it, that would be pretty cool. The support is much appreciated. Thank you for watching. Peace.